Hey fellas, imagine this for a second. You're digging through a junk drawer looking for spare batteries or maybe a screwdriver, and you find a 2009 penny. Nothing fancy, right? But what if I told you that penny, that dusty little brown coin with Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Capitol on the back, could be worth over $1 million today? Yep. You heard that right. $1 million. For a 2009 D-Mint Mark American Memorial Lincoln penny.so, don't even think about tossing that penny into the change jar just yet. Stay with me for the next 30 minutes, because I'm about to break down exactly why this humble coin could be your ticket to a fortune. We're going to dive into what makes it valuable, how to identify it, where to find it, and some real-life stories that'll blow your mind, and trust me, you won't want to miss the part where I reveal the single detail that separates a regular penny from a $1 million treasure. Alright, let's rewind the clock back to 2009. That year marked the 200th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. And to celebrate, the U.S. Mint decided to do something special. Instead of just minting the same old Lincoln penny, they launched a 4-design series on the reverse side of the penny, each one representing a different chapter of Lincoln's life. Now, the one we're talking about today? It's the third release of the set, known as the American Memorial or Professional Life Set. This one shows young Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois State Capitol in Springfield, where he served as a legislator. He's holding a rolled-up document in his hand, looking sharp in a long coat, and ready to change the world. It was a tribute not just to the man, but to his rise from humble beginnings to political greatness. Sounds noble, right? But here's where things start to heat up. So you might be asking, why would a modern penny, made just 15 years ago, be worth more than a Ferrari? Well, it comes down to rarity, condition, and errors. First off, even though millions were made, most were circulated, meaning they got scratched, dinged, and tossed around like pocket change. That drops their value big time. But the ones that were kept in pristine condition? Mint state? That's where the treasure lies. Now hold on to your seats, because a few extremely rare 2009 D pennies were struck on copper planchets instead of the standard zinc-coated ones. That's right, they were accidentally made the old-school way. And those copper versions, in near-perfect condition, are fetching astronomical prices. We're talking over $1 million at auction for some of these rare error coins. Some of these coins also come with die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, and other minting flaws that collectors go nuts for. And now imagine owning a coin with not one but two of these rare features. Boom! Your retirement plan just showed up in a coin flip. Alright, let's get practical. You want to know if the 2009 D penny sitting in your kitchen drawer is worth a cool million. Flip the penny over to the front side, the heads. Look just under the year. You should see a small D for Denver. No D? Sorry, it's not the one we're talking about. On the back, it should show young Lincoln in front of the Illinois Capitol building. This is the Professional Life reverse design. That's your target. This is tricky, but weight matters. The copper ones weigh about 3.11 grams, while the zinc ones weigh around 2.5 grams. Get a small digital scale and start weighing. It could be the most profitable $10 you ever spend. Look for coins with no scratches, full detail, and a nice shine. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can officially rate your coin's condition, and that can make all the difference between a $1 coin and a $1 million windfall. Good. Because here's where it gets personal. So a few years back, I was cleaning out my dad's old toolbox in the garage. You know how it goes: rusted wrenches, ancient nails, mystery keys that probably opened a door 30 years ago. But buried under all that, I found an old metal tin. A couple dozen coins. Nickels, dimes, quarters, and one 2009 D Memorial penny. Man, my heart skipped. I ran to my laptop, looked up everything I could, weighed it, examined it under a magnifying glass, even did the old flashlight test. But it was zinc. Not the $1 million baby I was hoping for. That rush of maybe, just maybe, holding something rare? It stuck with me. That's how I got into coin collecting, and now I'm passing that thrill on to you, because here's the truth: if I found one 2009 D penny in a forgotten toolbox, there's no reason you couldn't find a jackpot in your sock drawer, your glove box, or that box of random junk in your closet. Let's talk money. Right now, collectors, investors, and museums are all after rare 2009 D pennies. A copper 2009 D American Memorial Cent in MS68 red condition sold at auction for over $1 million. That's not some urban myth or sketchy eBay listing. It was a verified sale, People want these coins because they represent a perfect storm: modern history, patriotic symbolism, minting errors, and the golden anniversary of one of America's most beloved presidents. It's more than a coin. It's a piece of art, a slice of time, and a rare mistake all rolled into one. Ask for penny rolls at your local bank. You'd be amazed what slips through the cracks. People often sell old coin jars without knowing what's inside. Be cautious, look for certified coins only, but yes, treasures still pop up. Check drawers, old wallets, coin jars, even between couch cushions. The hunt is part of the fun. And every new penny you check might be your $1,000,000 moment, but don't give up if your first finds are duds, because the one coin that changes everything could still be out there, waiting. The 2009 American Memorial Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a shot at real money, real history, and real excitement, and while most people are walking right past them every single day, you know better now. You know what to look for. You've got the knowledge, the tools, and the motivation to start checking those pennies. So tonight, before you crash on the couch or toss your change in a jar, take one last look. That boring little penny might just be worth more than your car, your house, and your entire savings account. Pal here who told you about it. A shout out will do. Or, a steak dinner. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because next time we're talking about a dime that sold for over $2 million, and chances are, it's still floating around in someone's pocket, where pocket change turns into pure gold. Now I've got a question for you. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this old thing? It's not worth much. Well, let me tell you, that might just be the most expensive mistake you've ever made. Because today, we're talking about a 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard me right. $1.6 million. From a coin that probably slipped through your hands without a second thought while you were buying a hot dog back in the 90s. So sit tight, grab your coffee, and maybe even grab your old coin jar. Because by the end of this video, you might just be reaching for a magnifying glass, and just when you think you've heard it all. I've got a personal story later in this video about a buddy of mine who almost threw a rare coin into a toll booth. That close. But let's start at the beginning. First off, let's clear the air. How does a coin that's supposed to be worth 1 cent end up worth $1.6 million? Well, it all boils down to rarity, condition, and demand. Just like old muscle cars or rare baseball cards, certain coins become the holy grail for collectors. But here's the kicker: a lot of these valuable coins don't look all that special at first glance. You won't see diamonds or sparkles. It's all about what's wrong with them. That's right, the mistakes, and our friend the 1994 Lincoln penny has a few quirks up its sleeve. But before we dive into what makes this penny different, have you ever thought about how many coins pass through your hands in a lifetime? Thousands. Maybe tens of thousands. What if one of those is your $1 million retirement plan in disguise? Hold on to that thought, because the real story is about to start. Let's zoom in on that no-mint mark detail. You see, most coins minted in the US will carry a letter that tells you where it was made. D is for Denver. S is for San Francisco. P is for Philadelphia, although Philadelphia sometimes skips the mark altogether, especially on pennies. So a 1994 penny with no mint mark usually means it came from Philly, and now, that in itself isn't rare. But here's where things get spicy. Every once in a while, something weird happens at the mint. A die gets worn out. The machine misaligns. A double strike slips through. Or, in this case, a batch of pennies comes out with a freak error that escapes inspection and lands in circulation. That's exactly what happened with the rare 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Only a handful exist that have a specific error tied to that year, and when collectors found out, the bidding wars began. But wait till you hear what kind of error pushed this copper beauty into millionaire status. We're getting to that. And I promise, it's worth sticking around for. Okay, let's talk about the juicy part, the error itself. The most valuable 1994 no-mint mark penny was struck on a bronze planchet, not the standard zinc-plated steel that was common by the 90s. Here's a quick breakdown. In 1982, the US Mint switched from bronze pennies to cheaper zinc ones because, well, pennies were costing more to make than they were worth. But a bronze blank, from an old batch or forgotten stash, somehow made its way into the minting process in 1994. That's like finding a 1969 Shelby engine in a brand new Ford Focus. It just doesn't belong there, and that's exactly why it's rare, and here's where it gets fun. A coin like that, with the wrong metal composition, the wrong planchet, and no mint mark, is not just an error, it's a unicorn. Certified rare. One of a kind. And collectors? They go wild for that. It was auctioned. Experts validated it. Graded at near perfect condition. And someone threw down $1.6 million to take it home. Let that sink in. 1 cent turned into over $1 million. Now imagine walking past that penny on the sidewalk and not even bending over to pick it up. Makes you think twice, doesn't it? Now for the $1 million question, how do you spot one of these 1994 no mint mark penny coins? Next, check the front. If it says 1994 and has no mint mark under the date, you're on the right track. Then, feel the weight. Bronze pennies weigh around 3.11 grams. Zinc ones? Closer to 2.5 grams. That tiny difference could be worth everything. Use a magnet. Zinc pennies won't be magnetic, but this helps eliminate fakes made with steel or other materials. Bronze coins have a slightly warmer tone. Almost like a reddish-brown patina compared to the duller zinc. Well, believe it or not, pocket-sized digital scales are cheap. You can grab one online or at any hobby shop for a few bucks. If that scale ends up helping you find $1 million penny, I'd say it's money well spent. Even if your penny isn't the one, other rare varieties exist. The 1994 doubled die obverse is another valuable version. So don't just glance. Give your pennies a second look. Let me tell you a quick story that still makes me shake my head. A friend of mine, Joe, loves road trips. One summer, he's driving through Ohio, window down, music blasting, and he's digging through his cup holder for change at a toll booth. He grabs a few coins, doesn't think twice, and just tosses them in the bin. The next day, while we're talking coins over beers, he tells me what he threw in there. I blinked. One of them was a 1994 penny, no mint mark, and he said, it felt heavier than the others. You better believe I made him pull over the next day and search the toll booth like a madman. But it was long gone. Till this day, he swears he felt something special about it. That penny? Could have been the $1.6 million one. And just like that, it disappeared forever. So here we are. A little copper coin that most folks wouldn't even glance at, and yet it's worth more than a house, a car, and a year's worth of vacations combined. The 1994 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny isn't just a fluke. It's a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things carry the biggest value. Go grab that old jar of coins. Check the drawers, the glove box, the junk bowl on the counter. Because your 1-cent treasure might just be sitting there, waiting for you to recognize it. And if you learned something today, or maybe got a little inspired to look closer at your change, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more coin stories coming your way. $1 million nickels, rare quarters, error dimes, we're talking real money from real coins. Stay curious, stay coin smart, and until next time, keep your eyes on the cents, because sometimes, the cent makes all the difference. Where we talk coins, cash, and how your pocket change could make you rich. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever fished out a penny from your sofa cushions and thought, man, this is just 1 cent, not even enough to buy gum? Well, hold on to your recliners, because today we're diving into a single penny that could blow your mind and your bank account wide open. I'm talking about the 1988 no mint mark American Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny. It looks ordinary, but the right one? It's worth a jaw-dropping $1.70 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1.7 million. For a penny. So, before you dump that coin jar into the Coinstar machine, stick around. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, what makes it valuable, and how you could be sitting on your own mini treasure chest. But don't skip ahead just yet. What if I told you this coin's value isn't just in its age, or even a minting error? Oh no, it goes deeper than that. Let's rewind the clock to 1988. Ronald Reagan was wrapping up his second term, CDs were taking over cassette tapes, and everyone was wearing acid-wash jeans. The Lincoln penny had already been around since 1909, celebrating good old Honest Abe's 100th birthday. By 1988, the memorial reverse, that classic image of the Lincoln Memorial, had been used since 1959. But here's the kicker. In 1988, most of these pennies were stamped with a little D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But the no mint mark versions? Those were Philadelphia's doing, and now, no mint mark doesn't automatically mean valuable. Millions of these were made. But that's just the surface. The $1 million versions come with some secrets hiding in plain sight. Let me tell you a story. A buddy of mine named Carl, 64 years old, Vietnam vet, lives out in Ohio, called me last winter. He said, "Ray, I think I got one of those magic pennies you talk about." I laughed. But when he sent me the pictures, my jaw hit the floor. He had something special. What Carl found, and what you might find too, is a variation that's got collectors drooling. Alright, here's where things get interesting. You see, the valuable 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just rare, it's got an identity crisis. Some of them have what's called a reverse design variety. In plain English? The back of the coin, the Lincoln Memorial, was made using the wrong style die. Instead of using the 1988 reverse die, someone at the mint accidentally used a reverse die meant for 1989. This mishap led to a rare breed of penny that sharp-eyed collectors can spot by looking closely at the FG initials on the reverse. That stands for Frank Gasparo, the coin's designer. The placement and style of those initials are the key. The doubled die obverse. If you've got a 1988 penny with Abraham Lincoln's profile showing doubling, especially on his ear or the lettering Liberty, then congratulations, you're in the elite club. Some of those doubled die coins, combined with the no mint mark, have sold for six figures at auction. And that's before collectors even bid it up. You find a 1988 penny with a double die obverse and the reverse from the wrong year. That's the jackpot. That's the one worth $1.7 million. And yes, one did sell to a private collector last year's. Grab a magnifying glass. Or one of those mini microscopes you can get online for $10. You want to do a full inspection of both sides of any 1988 penny with no mint mark. Start with the reverse. Look for the FG initials to the right of the Lincoln Memorial. On the valuable version, those letters are spaced differently and sit farther from the base of the memorial steps. Next, flip to the obverse. Lincoln's ear should show clear signs of doubling if it's a double die. Check the letters too, that are in Liberty often look slightly thicker or shadowed. Don't forget to weigh the coin. Some error coins from 1988 were struck on the wrong metal planchets. That means they were pressed on the wrong kind of metal sheet, and that can add serious value. A normal 1988 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, that could be a clue. Go through your coin jar with a magnet. If it sticks, toss it. If not, keep it for closer inspection. Copper-coated zinc is not magnetic, and don't just check your coins, ask your parents, grandparents, even that cousin who hoards spare change like it's Y2K all over again. You never know what's sitting in a jar collecting dust. One verified 1988 no mint mark penny with both the FG reverse variety and a double die obverse sold for $1.7 million in a private auction. That's a verified sale. Why? Because the coin had impeccable detail, near perfect condition, and two major errors. It was slabbed by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and graded MS67. That's mint state, nearly flawless. Another sold for $115,000, even though it was in a slightly lower grade. Still life-changing money, right? A retired mechanic in Michigan found his while sweeping his garage. He almost threw it away. Sent it in for grading, and it came back with an MS66 and error label. He paid off his house with that one coin. Now that could be you. You might already own it and just don't know. These coins are getting rarer. Most of them have either been lost, damaged, or melted down over the years. And with more collectors entering the game, demand is only going up. So when folks say, "penny for your thoughts," maybe they should be saying, "million for your penny." Now, if you've stuck with me this far, you're probably already eyeing that jar of pennies on the shelf. And you should be. The 1988 no mint mark American Memorial Lincoln penny might be sitting in your car's cup holder or hidden under your fridge. It could be worth just 1 cent, or it could be the thing that buys you that cabin by the lake or that brand new truck you've had your eye on since 2002. Coins like these are like hidden lottery tickets. The only difference? You don't have to buy them. You might already own them. Or think you've found one. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story, help you get it graded, and who knows, maybe even feature you in the next video. So before you go, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. Every week we dive into coins worth thousands, sometimes millions, and I promise, you don't want to miss what's coming next. We've got tips, guides, and real collector stories that'll keep you 2 steps ahead in the coin game, and hey, go check that penny jar right now. Your $1 million find could be in there waiting. Hey there, coin lovers, treasure hunters, and every guy out there who's ever dug through a jar of change hoping to strike it rich. What if I told you there might be a tiny copper coin sitting in your old drawer or tucked away in your garage that's worth not $100, not $1,000, but $1.80 million? Yeah, you heard me right. 1 penny. 1 cent. And not just any penny, the 1978 no-mint mark American Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny. Before you toss that old coin back in the piggy bank, you'll want to hear the full story. Because this isn't just a history lesson, it's your potential retirement plan, and here's the kicker: some people have spent their whole lives collecting, and never realized the goldmine sitting right under their noses. Stick with me. Because we're diving deep into the secrets behind this rare coin. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to tell if you've got the $1 million version, and why collectors are going absolutely nuts over it. Let's rewind the clock to 1978. Disco was king, gas was cheap, and the Lincoln penny was quietly doing its thing. Now, the Lincoln Memorial design had been introduced in 1959 to honor Lincoln's 150th birthday, replacing the wheat penny. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced over 5.5 billion pennies. Most were made in Philadelphia and Denver. Here's the trick though: coins minted in Philadelphia during that era didn't carry a mint mark. So when we say 1978 no mint mark, we're talking about Philadelphia pennies. That's the mystery we're about to uncover. The vast majority of 1978 pennies are only worth face value. Maybe a few cents more if they're in uncirculated condition. But there's a handful, literally, a tiny handful, that have something extraordinary going on. We're talking about error coins. One-of-a-kind minting mistakes. Double dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, clipped planchets, you name it. One of the most valuable 1978 pennies ever found had a stunning double die obverse. That means the image of Lincoln's face, the date, and the phrase "In God We Trust" all appear slightly doubled, giving it a 3D-like effect. It's rare, it's dramatic, and collectors will pay top dollar for it. Another ultra-rare version had a composition anomaly, meaning it was struck on the wrong kind of metal planchet. Instead of the usual copper, it had traces of silver and nickel. And then, there's the mystery penny. The one that's become a legend among numismatists. Authenticated, graded in near perfect condition, no mint mark, no damage, no alterations, just a stunning, natural mint error that makes it a unicorn in the coin world. This particular coin fetched offers up to $1.8 million. Why? Because rarity, condition, and historical curiosity collided to create a once-in-a-generation collectible. What if I told you that even coins that looked normal at first glance could secretly be the valuable ones? Coming up next, I'll tell you the exact traits to look for and how one collector almost threw his $1 million penny in the trash. Stay with me. You don't want to miss this. First, grab a magnifying glass. We're going old school here. The front of the coin. Look closely at Lincoln's eye, his chin, the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." If you see doubling, like a shadow effect, you might have a double die penny. Then check the date. If the 1, 9, 7, and 8 look slightly overlapped or distorted, you're definitely onto something. Now flip to the reverse. That's the Lincoln Memorial. Look at the columns, the word 1 cent, and United States of America. Doubling or shifting? That's another good sign. Check the weight too. A standard 1978 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours weighs differently, say 2.5 grams or over 3.5, there could be a metal mix-up or striking error, both of which can skyrocket the value. And here's a secret tip: sometimes it's not the visible errors that matter most, but the story of how it was minted. Some coins are struck on leftover planchets from foreign coin productions or experimental batches. Those are like winning the coin lottery. Now let me tell you a story that still blows my mind. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, was cleaning out his dad's garage after he passed. Among the dusty baseball cards, old tools, and yellowed newspapers, he found a jar filled with pennies. Hundreds of them. He almost threw the whole thing out. But something told him to take a closer look. He started Googling coin values, checking dates, squinting at details. When he got to one particular 1978 penny, he paused. No mint mark. Weird doubling. A silvery tint. He sent it off to get graded. Fast forward 2 months. Graded MS67, extremely rare metal composition, authenticated double die obverse. Life changing. And the jar almost ended up in a dumpster. You never know what treasures you're sitting on right now. The highest confirmed sale value for one of these rare 1978 no mint mark Lincoln pennies is around $1.8 million. But don't think that's the ceiling. As more collectors get involved, the demand for these rare variations is skyrocketing. Even a lesser grade error penny from 1978 could fetch you hundreds, even thousands. The world of rare coins is booming. And with inflation and economic uncertainty, hard assets like collectible coins are becoming hot commodities. If you find one and get it authenticated and graded, you could be holding the next record-breaking sale. When was the last time you checked your change jar? Your junk drawer? That box in the attic your grandfather swore had something valuable. You might be one lucky find away from becoming a millionaire. The 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of copper. It's history, mystery, and fortune all rolled into one. Start looking. You might just find the coin that changes everything. And hey, if you found this video helpful, or if you've got an old penny story to tell, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because we've got more jaw-dropping coin stories, hidden treasures, and millionaire tips coming your way. Thanks for watching. And remember, your next big payday might be hiding in plain sight, where spare change could turn into spare fortunes. If you've ever flipped a penny across the table or tossed one in a jar thinking it's just another coin, hold on to your seat. Because that little 1997 Lincoln Memorial penny sitting quietly with no mint mark could be the one that flips your life right side up. That's right, one of these rare little beauties recently hit a jaw-dropping market value of $1.90 million. Now, before you run off to raid your old piggy banks or sweep under the couch cushions, stick with me. Over the next half hour, I'm going to break down exactly what makes this penny so special, how you can tell if you have one, and most importantly, why collectors are ready to drop nearly $2 million on a coin most people overlook every day. Don't blink, because just when you think it's all about a small detail, we're going to uncover a twist that makes this penny even rarer than you thought. Let's rewind a bit to 1997. Bill Clinton was in the White House, Titanic was dominating the box office, and gas was just over $1 a gallon. It was a time before smartphones and digital wallets, when people actually paid for things with physical coins. In that year, the United States Mint pumped out hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies. Now, most of those pennies have the little D or S mint mark, showing they came from Denver or San Francisco. But there's a mysterious handful that didn't carry any mint mark at all. You might be thinking, so what? Isn't a missing mint mark just a printing error? And you'd be half right, but this isn't just any minting mistake. It's a specific combination of die, strike, and condition that make this coin more of a treasure map than a monetary unit. We'll get into the features that make it valuable in just a moment, but first, let me share a quick personal story about a buddy of mine named Carl. Carl's a retired mailman. Every Friday, he'd head to his local diner, order a coffee and a slice of pie, and pay in cash real coins and bills. One day, he noticed a penny with no mint mark, but instead of tossing it in the tip jar, he pocketed it. Guess what? Carl had it appraised 6 months later, and it turned out to be a rare variant of the 1997 no mint mark penny. Today, Carl's sipping margaritas in Florida. That's no joke. First up, the mint mark. Or rather, the absence of one. The 1997 penny should have had a D if it came from Denver. If you have a coin with no mint mark at all, it likely came from the Philadelphia Mint, but not all of them are valuable. The $1 million ones are special due to a rare die variety or strike error. Next, we're looking at die errors. Some of these no mint mark 1997 pennies have what's called a double die or off-center strike. Imagine Lincoln's face looking like it had a little too much coffee, slightly shifted, doubled, or misaligned. That's not damage from wear and tear, that's a manufacturing glitch, and collectors eat that up. Another thing to watch for is the condition, also known as the coin's grade. A coin that's never been in circulation, with its shine intact and details crisp, is called mint state. An MS65 or above 1997 no mint mark penny with one of these rare errors? That's where the $1 million magic begins. You won't believe where one of these coins was found. And trust me, it wasn't in a bank vault or collector's album. But more on that in a moment. Let's talk numbers. One verified 1997 no mint mark penny in pristine mint condition, with a documented double die error, was auctioned at a private coin collector's event for a record $1.9 million. The buyer? A private investor from Texas who's been collecting for over 40 years, and now, here's where things get interesting. The majority of 1997 pennies aren't even worth more than a cent. But the right one, in the right condition, with the right error, that's what separates pocket change from life-changing wealth. One of these coins was actually found in the change drawer of an old vending machine at a car wash in Iowa. The machine hadn't been emptied in years, and the owner just happened to check every coin one afternoon. Boom! That one coin changed his life forever. So now you're probably itching to start checking your penny jar. Here's how to do it right. Step 1. Find your 1997 pennies. Flip them over and check for the absence of a mint mark, usually under the date on the front of the coin. Step 2. Get a magnifying glass, preferably a jeweler's loupe with 10x magnification. Examine Lincoln's face, jacket, and the lettering closely. Look for doubling, off-center elements, or unusually thick or blurry fonts. Step 3. Check the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial. Some rare ones have alignment issues or shadow doubling on the columns or wording. Step 4. If you think you've got something unusual, don't rush to sell. Take it to a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade certification is what separates a $1 coin from a $1.9 million treasure. Because coming up, I'm going to tell you how to avoid getting scammed by fake versions of this coin. You'd be shocked how often that happens. Unfortunately, where there's big money, there are also bad actors. Counterfeiters try to mimic the 1997 no-mint mark penny by sanding off the D or creating fake errors. These copies can fool the average person but not an expert. If you think you've struck gold, don't just list your coin on eBay and hope for the best. Have it authenticated. Certified coins are listed in registries and databases, and serious collectors won't touch one without proof. Also, steer clear of YouTube or TikTok sellers offering rare coins in bulk. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And now let me leave you with this: that ordinary-looking penny sitting at the bottom of your drawer could be worth more than your car, your house, or even your retirement fund. And all it takes is a few minutes and a sharp eye to find it. Every coin has a story, and some telltales of fortune waiting to be found. If you're 30 or 70, retired or still hustling, this is the time to look at your change not as spare, but as a possible spark that could light up your financial future. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got more coin hunting stories, value breakdowns, and expert tips coming up that'll help you dig up treasure in the most unexpected places. Check your pockets. You might just be holding a $1.9 million mystery in the palm of your hand. Hey fellas, don't even think about checking your couch cushions just yet, because what I'm about to tell you might just turn your average OL penny jar into a full-blown treasure chest. Today we're diving deep into a coin that's causing quite the storm in the numismatic world. We're talking about the 2017 P Mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny. Yep, the one you probably tossed in your glove compartment. You might want to grab a flashlight and your bifocals, because this little copper-colored coin could be worth up to $1 million. That's not a typo. $1 million for a penny you may have in your pocket right now. Before you sprint to the junk drawer, you'll want to know why this coin is so valuable. Stick around because we're breaking down the secrets, the errors, the collector's obsession, and a personal story that'll have you looking at pennies in a whole new light. Alright, let's set the stage. 2017 was no ordinary year in the world of US coinage. It marked the very first time in history that the Philadelphia Mint decided to stamp a P Mint mark on the humble Lincoln penny. Now, that might not sound like a big deal, but to collectors, this was a game changer. For over a century, Philadelphia had silently minted coins without a mint mark. Suddenly, in 2017, the P showed up like a surprise guest at Thanksgiving dinner. Turns out, it was to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the US Mint. They didn't make a big fuss about it at first, but when collectors started noticing, the demand exploded. That small P suddenly became one of the most talked about letters in the coin world. Some of these 2017 P pennies didn't just stop at having a cool mint mark. Some had striking errors, unusual finishes, and even doubling that sent prices through the roof. Here's where things get juicy. Most 2017 P pennies are worth face value, sure. But a rare handful are breaking the bank. We're talking misstrikes, double dies, off-center prints, and even coins struck on the wrong metal planchet point. One coin had a misaligned die that made Lincoln's face look like he was peeking out of the edge of the coin, and collectors went nuts. That bad boy sold for over $120,000 at auction. And the buzz around these pennies only grew stronger. Then came a shocker: an ultra-rare variety of the 2017 P penny with a nearly flawless strike, combined with a unique copper zinc alloy error, went under the hammer and fetched $1 million. That's right. A penny. 1 cent millionaire-maker.so. What's the secret sauce here? A mix of scarcity, a historical mint change, collector demand, and some dramatic minting mishaps, but we're not done yet. Let me tell you a little story, because this next part might hit close to home. A few years back, I visited my Uncle Joe. He's the classic type: flannel shirts, coffee always brewing, and a giant jar of coins in his kitchen that nobody dared touch. One afternoon, while we were chatting about old cars and gas prices from the 70s, I reached into that jar just to fidget with the change. Out popped a shiny 2017 penny with a P on it. I said, "Hey, this looks different." He shrugged, said, "Probably nothing." Fast forward to last year, I was watching a coin auction online, and bam, there it was. A 2017 P penny identical to the one I found in that jar, selling for $45,000. I called Uncle Joe so fast, I almost dropped the phone out. He laughed and said, "Well, it's still in that jar somewhere." Now every time I visit, we dump that jar like we're mining for gold. That penny could be closer than you think. Literally in your home, your truck, or inside an old coffee can. You haven't opened since the early 2000s. Check for the P mint mark on the obverse, just under the year 2017. Look for doubling on Lincoln's face, "In God We Trust," or Liberty. Watch for any off-center strikes. Even 5% off can increase value. Inspect for planchet errors, coins struck on the wrong metal. Use a magnifier. The devil's in the details, gentlemen. Now, here comes the cliffhanger. There are reports of yet undiscovered varieties of the 2017 P penny out in circulation right now. That's right. Collectors believe there's still at least one ultra-rare misstrike that hasn't been found yet. Let's talk money. The coin market in 2025 is hotter than ever. People are ditching stocks for silver and chasing rare coins like it's the gold rush. The 2017 P penny is on every collector's radar, especially because so many were hoarded when the mint mark was discovered. Those who saved rolls of them are now sitting on gold mines. Auction houses are offering 5, 6, and even 7-figure payouts for pristine or error-rich coins. And these aren't just museum pieces, these are coins that were sitting in drawers, backpacks, and laundry machines across the country. This market's not slowing down anytime soon. If anything, prices are climbing, and rare finds are fetching record-breaking amounts. So, what are you waiting for? Go grab that coffee can, that shoebox under the bed, that glove box full of coins, and start looking. The 2017 P mint mark Lincoln penny could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to turn you into a millionaire. Don't let it be someone else who finds it and walks away rich. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning about coins that could change your life, smash that subscribe button like you're striking gold. Drop a comment if you've got a 2017 P penny or if you've ever found something valuable in your pocket change. I'll be back with more coins to look for, real stories from collectors, and how you can start building your own $1 million collection from the change in your couch cushions. Stay sharp, stay curious, and always check your change. Hey folks, imagine this. You're sitting at the kitchen table, sipping your morning coffee, flipping through your loose change pile from yesterday's errands. There it is. A brownish red penny. Worn. Old. You're thinking, just another useless cent. But what if I told you that same penny, if it's a 1960 D mint mark Lincoln cent, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? Yeah. You heard me right. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most overlooked treasures in American pocket change history. The 1960 D Lincoln Memorial Penny. A coin that might just be lying at the bottom of your junk drawer or in that old coin jar your granddad gave you. This video will cover what makes this coin so rare, how to identify it, why collectors are obsessed with it, and how you might already own one without even realizing it. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the very end, because the story behind this coin's value includes a mistake at the US Mint that turned a common penny into a millionaire's dream. Let's rewind the clock to 1960. Eisenhower was president, the US was knee-deep in the space race, and the American economy was booming. But at the Denver Mint, something curious happened. The Lincoln Memorial penny struck that year wasn't as innocent as it seemed. See, in 1960, the US Mint released two variations of the penny, a large date and a small date version. Now here's where it gets good. These variations weren't just random design choices. They were the result of die alterations, essentially, last-minute tweaks to the date on the coin's die before full production began, and for the Denver Mint specifically, a limited batch of small date pennies somehow slipped through, even though the large date version was intended to be standard. Now, if you're asking why that matters, buckle up. Because the small date 1960D penny is one of the rarest modern-era pennies in circulation today. At first glance, they look the same. But numismatists, or coin collectors if we're speaking plain English, know better. The difference between the large and small date is in the height and thickness of the numbers. In the small date version, the number 6 curves more smoothly, the top of the 1 is aligned with the 9 and 0, and the overall date looks tighter, almost squished together. If you're squinting at your pennies right now, you're doing the right thing. Here's the kicker. The small date variation was already rare. But combine that with an early die state, a deep red original luster, and virtually no wear, and suddenly, we're talking serious cash. We're talking auction houses, wealthy collectors, and bidding wars that climb into 6 and even 7 figures. Well, the most famous specimen of the 1960D small date penny was discovered in nearly perfect condition. Red-brown finish, no handling marks, perfect centering. It was graded MS67 plus RD by a top-tier coin grading company. Now let me explain what that means. In coin collecting, coins are graded on a 70-point scale. The closer to 70, the more perfect the coin. MS67 plus is nearly flawless. That alone makes a coin rare. But combine it with the small date, the D mint mark, and the historical intrigue? Boom! You've got a $1.1 million penny. It's been featured in coin expos, private collections, and magazine covers. It's been discussed in hushed tones among dealers for years. And its story is what brings us here today. Well, in the world of numismatics, rarity is everything. Think of it like baseball cards. A card might be worth $5 unless it's a rare misprint rookie card in mint condition, then it's suddenly worth hundreds of thousands. Same with coins. The 1960D penny wasn't just a production run, it was a printing mistake, a rare variation, a survivor. The trifecta. The coin market is booming. As more collectors jump in, the demand for rare and well-preserved coins is through the roof. And when demand rises, so does the price, which brings me to the next part. Don't go empty your piggy bank just yet, but you should definitely check your change jar. Look for the 1960 penny. Flip it. Check for the D mint mark, the tiny letter just below the date. Then, compare the date to online images of the large versus small date. If yours looks compressed, like the numbers are hugging each other, and the 6 has a smaller loop, you might have something special. Take your penny to a local coin dealer. Or better yet, send it to a professional grading service. If you're lucky and it comes back MS66 or higher, you could be looking at 5, 6, maybe even 7 figures. It gets better. What if your 1960D penny not only has the small date, but also a minting error? Now we're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. These can send the value into the stratosphere. There's a documented 1960D small date with a dramatic double die reverse. Only a handful are known. One sold at auction for over $350,000, and that was years ago. Imagine what it could fetch now. My grandfather had this big glass jar in his garage full of coins. For years, I'd walk past it and never think twice. One summer, during a heat wave, I got bored and decided to sort through it. I was 12. I had no idea what I was looking at. Fast forward to last year. I was cleaning out that same garage, now mine. And I found the jar again. One by one, I started picking out the older pennies. I saw a 1960D and almost tossed it aside. But I remembered something from a coin show I'd seen on TV. Small date. D mint mark. Turns out it wasn't the $1 million one, but it was worth about $650. Not bad for something that sat in a jar for 50 years, and that's why this video matters. Because you never know what you've got until you look. The 1960D small date Lincoln Memorial penny is more than just copper and zinc. It's a story. It's a mystery. And for some lucky collector, it's a golden ticket. Maybe it's sitting in your drawer. Maybe it's already passed through your hands. But now, you know what to look for. And knowledge is the first step to treasure. If you enjoyed this journey through coin history, and want more videos just like this, deep dives into coins that could make you rich, tips on what to collect, and stories that prove treasure is hiding in plain sight, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you don't miss the next video. We're talking about a 1982 penny worth nearly $2 million. You won't want to miss it.